Hello everyone, welcome in the first video of Logistic Unlock. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Kundu. He is an advisor in Signo and he have worked a company like Amazon right now. He is going to share his vision with the Indian logistics sector, and we are going to understand what he think about the all those operations happening in India in logistics sector. Welcome, sir.
Thanks, Pratik. So first of all, thanks for inviting me on this channel of yours, and I keep tracking this channel. You are doing an amazing job. So thanks for inviting me.
Thank you so much, sir. So the very first question that what is the difference between Indian logistic operation and US logistic operation?
Yeah, and that's a very good question, Pratik. So I have worked in India for quite some time before I moved to US. A little more than 5 years back. And having worked in both these geographies, I think there are a lot of things that are common, right? There are some things which are different, but there are a lot of things which are common. At the end of the day, the logistics is all about connecting one end to the other, right? Whether it's you're connecting a business to a customer or you're connecting a business to a business, right? That's the job of logistics, and that doesn't change across geographies, right? And the things, as you asked, which are different, in my view, is the scale is first. The second is, I would say, the technology. How much of technology is used now in US versus the amount of technology we are using in India now. And the third one is how people operate in terms of working professionally, making sure we are doing the payments on time, following the processes there. I would say, these are like probably some of the differences, and we are changing a lot in India. We're changing faster than any other geography. There are so many of these things which are actually now happening in India, and that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah. So you have also set up a middle mile operations of logistic in India, and you have also set up a last mile operation in US, right? If I'm not wrong. So what was the major challenges you faced while setting up a operation entire in logistic of like Indian geography, and what was the challenges you have faced while setting up processes in US?
I would say, both of them were like really interesting journey for me, and lot of learning for myself. The biggest thing I would say is the kind of partnership that you need to build with people you work with, right? Whether it's vendors, whether it's like other logistics players. At the end of the day, your model is dependent on multiple players who are going to execute part of those models, right? Um, and the way you are able to build those relationships makes you successful in executing that model. And so I basically followed the same process. In fact, I learned a lot of these things when I worked with different players in India when I was setting up the middle mile network. And I when I went to US, I was not sure, right? It was a completely new challenge for me. It was a new geography, so I was not sure how it's going to work. But what I realized very quickly is at the end of the day, human they appreciate if you have the right kind of relationship, if you set the right expectations with them, and you keep your promise, right? And I kind of did the same when I was setting up the last mile delivery network. It was for a small part of Amazon business, which is we used to call it AMXL. But yeah, I mean, we had delivery partners whom we hired. We started building the last mile delivery stations. We figured out like what the processes should be, and a lot of it was done by my team. Some of these delivery partners, they came and told us like we have worked in other companies and this is how they do it, and we kind of picked up, learned from them, and then went ahead.
Nice. So I'll also like to understand, the technology which other countries using and Indian people are using, right? So we see there are so many problems in Indian logistic, sector having, right? They are the entire or operation is not so organized, but still we are not so aggressive in using this kind of solution like Traqo and other solution. What is the major problem with the operational point of view for not accepting this kind of solution in India? What do you think, sir?
I would, Pratik, I would rather say that India people are becoming more and more open to use technology, and in Traqo,
Mhm.
you guys are doing a really good job in not just helping people, solve their logistics problem, but also you're teaching them what all is available, right?
Correct.
And that's something which is required, right? If you think back, right, and I'll go to my earlier days. Yeah, in fact, let me start with when I started working, right? I was given a role where I did not have a computer. I used to fill logs,
Right.
on books, right? That we used to call
Right.
them log books. So when I finished my, operations, I would write down how our performance was, and then someone will read it, sign it, make their comments, give it back to me, right? So
Right.
for a long period of time, logistics industry has worked like that, right? People would work on pen and paper. They would do all the work, but they would do all the work using pen and paper, right? Now many of them are working the same manner for many years, 20, 30 years, right? And to expect that they would change overnight is not easy, right? It takes time.
Right.
You need to teach and train people to make that change. But what is even more important is that you have to first say like, okay, I'm going to change, right? Your mind has to
Correct.
accept that I'm going to do something different compared to what
Right.
I've done for last 20 years. So that's what we would need to happen in India. It's happened in a similar manner in most of the geographies, right? And same thing needs to happen in India, and it's happening, right? It's happening very fast. And again, as I said, like you guys are doing a great job in teaching and telling people, like it's not hard. It's very easy. You using apps on your phone. This is like one more
Right.
app, very simple app you can use, and it will help make your life simpler.
Correct. Correct. So, educating people is very much important for, getting the change. Right. So there's one more thing which I'll definitely like to, ask you. What is the scenario of Indian logistic will be after 5 years? What's your thought on that? How you think, like this is how Indian logistic will look like after 5 years?
So प्रतीक मतलब मेरे को अगर इतना आइडिया होता तो then I could have I could have been a much richer person. But having
Okay.
said that, what I'm seeing based on whatever little understanding I have of the Indian logistics scenario, I feel that over a period of time we are going to rely a lot more on technology, not just in tracking our vehicles, but basically managing the end to end of this logistic process. Now, when I talk about logistic process, right, it starts from when you bid for a contract, when you offer a contract, to when you start, a vendor starts on your system, to how you are paying your drivers, how you are even recruiting your drivers. So all of it is a very complex process, and a lot of that is right now happening, through word of mouth, through a lot of manual processes, and that is going to change over time, where we will have this visibility end to end on the technology platforms that you guys are creating. It will make everyone's life a lot more easier, right? And it will remove a lot of friction that we have in logistics today, right? There are friction around your bill payment. There's friction around what the amount of that billing should be. There's a lot of friction around how the drivers are being tracked, and so all of these, as we look at each and every step, if through technology all of these steps can become a lot more transparent, and as a result of that, we will become more and more efficient. So that's what I see, like 5 years from now, more people are going to adopt technology and platforms like you guys are creating, and that will make everyone's life a lot more simpler.
Okay, okay, that's really important to adopt the entire new technology which is happening all around in logistic. And so here's my last question. So like any person who's going to start career in logistic, who is going to start who are joining in a companies in a logistic sector, what your advice will be for them?
Yeah, so this is advice not just for anyone starting in logistic industry. This is advice I give people who start in any sector. The most important thing is to be closest to your team on the ground, right? So if you are starting your job in a factory, it's very important for you to go on the shop floor, spend time with the operators who are there on the shop floor, even run some of the machines yourself to know what it is, right? Same way, if you are starting in a logistics sector, spend time in the warehouse, spend time with the drivers on the route, and that will teach you a lot of things that would make you successful going forward, right? And understanding what their barriers are, what kind of challenges that they face, right? And once you know that, then you would be able to create solutions for them which they will accept, right? And then the other piece there is also very important, is that it's important to create that bond with your broader team, so that when you are telling them that this is something you should try and it will help you, they will accept you, or they will accept your solution and they will try it, right? So that's one advice I would definitely have for anyone who is starting new, from my end.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you, sir, for joining. Thank you so much. All of you who's watching this video, please don't forget to like and share and subscribe. If you have any other query regarding logistic, you can go and check out sir's LinkedIn profile. I'm going to mention sir LinkedIn profile in my description. So please go check it out, and please don't forget to follow. If you have other requirement regarding TMS, you can go and check out Traqo website. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.